Hey guys, how you doing? The holidays are quickly approaching the corner, and just the holidays by itself is stressful in its own self. But with the COVID-19, layered on the COVID-19 election cycle, this really can be turned out to be one of the most depressing, stressful holidays we've experienced in a long time. And we believe in being proactive better, rather than being reactive. Hello, my name is Tony Williams. I'm the president and CEO for Veterans Council and Veterans. And I'm excited to announce that we've launched a podcast just to sit there and be proactive for our communities. This podcast is called Know Your Local Resources Spotlight. And basically, local resources are people in the Hillsborough community. And what we're trying to do is actually identify resources in the community. Because I tell you what, just anybody out there in the military, they know you don't start preparing for the PT test the day of the PT test. You got to do it way ahead of time, a month or two. We need to do the same thing. And I tell you, I'm really excited about it. And I want to show you the lineup, the exciting lineup. We're talking about real honestly, today we're going to have Camaraderie Foundation, maybe up a little later on. We're going to have the Honorable Mayor Jane Castor. And I'm excited to have her on board, and she can really identify the local resources that are in the Tampa area. We have Bay Area Legal, and they can talk about something we may experience as far on the legal side of the house. And this, even though our program is targeted toward the veteran community, really anybody can sit there and really learn something from our podcast. On the 13th, we have homeless advocates. You have a couple of nonprofits that take care of the homeless veterans. The Tampa City Councilman Luis Vieta will be on. And anybody know Luis? Luis is grinder. He is a grinder. And I'm really glad to have him on board to sit and also identify some of the local resources we have. We have 22 Paint that will be on the 27th. Because what I'm trying to do with the 22 Paint, we're going to have maybe some more guests on with them, is that we want to get the veterans some way to give an outlet. Because, even during the Veterans Day, people really have an extreme experience with some of the weapons, the bombs, and not the bombs, that's what we say, bombs. With the fireworks and stuff, they may go off, may or may not go off on COVID-19. So we want to give them alternatives. Then we have themes, right? We're going to, on the 4th of December, we're going to have a panel of licensed marriage and family therapists who will give us some kind of ideas of how to, recommendations on how to cope with all these activities coming on from Thanksgiving to the Christmas and still in the middle of the COVID-19. So that's a really important day. Circle it. Which the 11th is the only one that's kind of in the air, but I know we're gonna have somebody quickly cover that as well. And finally, we have a VCV trial on the 18th of December. So that's almost like our mini Christmas party, where you'll get a chance to be introduced to the VCV tribe, the people who are really responsible for helping Veterans Council veterans still stay active and involved and affecting the community. But before that, one of the things I want to introduce is we're going to today's guest. You see up there at the top, we have Camaraderie Foundation. Camaraderie Foundation, for those who don't know, they do a lot of things, but one of the things that bring Veterans Council veterans, and we're part of them. We're actually partnered with them, and we evaluate a lot of things that they do. But one of the things they do is they actually provide funding for families and veterans on post-9/11 counseling funding. And we think that's an important thing and maybe needed, probably number one, that may be needed during this time. So even if you don't think you know it now, you may need it later. But my call to action for you guys, guys and ladies who are watching this show, my call to action is to share. Sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. So you may not think you need it, but there may be somebody you don't know, that somebody you do know that may need it. And this may be considered a blessing that you may share something that somebody may later on. They may not need it today, but when we start heading into these holidays, they're going to say, I'm glad that I was the opportunity to see this program, and I know the resources are out there. So sharing is caring. Please share. And I value sharing so much that those who do share, I will announce to you on my next podcast because I think it's that important to you. So share. That's my only ask for you. Share. So no further ado, I want to bring on the Camaradierie's development manager, Anna Tanzilla. We've known each other for a long time, and I'm really happy for her to be on our show. So let's bring in Anna. Hello, Anna. How you doing?
Hey, Tony. I'm doing great. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. It's a Friday, and whenever I'm taking care of veterans and their families, I'm having a great day. And I'm sure you do the same thing. So Anna, Anna, just give us an insight who you are, get a little background who you are, and then we can start talking about Camaraderie Foundation, great foundation that's part of Tampa and Orlando. So Anna, the floor is yours.
Thank you. So I'm Anna Tanzilla, as Tony said, the development manager here in Orlando for Camaraderie Foundation. I'm also an Air Force veteran. So helping service members and their families is near and dear to my heart. And we've been doing this for 11 years now, in the Tampa Bay, basically Central Florida area. And to be honest, our counseling services are nationwide. So let me talk a little bit about what we do and what our mission is. Our mission is to heal those invisible wounds of war through counseling, spiritual, and emotional support. And we do that in 3 different areas. The first one is our counseling services, which, as I said, is nationwide. We pay 100% of the counseling services for that individual who needs counseling, as long as it's something related to their service. So for instance, we've helped individuals with PTSD, marriage issues, children that are having readjustment issues, things like that. And we've done that, like I said, for 11 years. Our clients are all over the United States. We contract with over 400 counselors across the states. The individual gets to choose what counselor they want to see. And then what we ask is for them to let us know how the sessions are going so that we know that it's doing well. We have a great success rate. We have an 89% success rate for individuals completing counseling to a point where they have those coping skills they need to get through whatever that trauma is or whatever that stressor is that is affecting them at this moment. So that is the big program. And we don't look at a character of discharge. We don't look at immediate family. It's whomever is in that family group or that caregiver group, that's who we're going to help. And a veteran, again, it has to be a post 9/11 veteran. Now, what I'm going to caveat that saying, I'm not a post 9/11 veteran, and neither is a couple of the other folks that are here. So what we make sure is that if we can't provide that support, we have other organizations that do, and we make a referral service. So we don't just leave people hanging. We never leave somebody hanging, never going to do that. So that is what we do on our counseling side. We also have, specific to Central Florida, a mentor leadership program that is in the, we have one cohort in the Orlando area and one cohort in the Tampa area. And what those classes do is it helps prepare transitioning veterans basically better understand what's in the business community. And a transition doesn't necessarily mean they just got out of the service. It could also mean that they've been out, they've gone to school, and now they're transitioning into the business world, or they're transitioning jobs, or they're starting their own business. And so we hook them up with a couple of mentors to be able to make those introductions and to build their network to really make their future pop. It's not about finding a job. Although a lot of the veterans that go through the program do find a job based on the networking they do. But that program is both in Orlando and in Tampa. We also have family fun days, which unfortunately with COVID, we've not been able to have but 2 family fun days this year. One of them was a back to school backpack event, and one of them was attending a play. We are scheduled right now for a big family fun day in December at SeaWorld. And we're inviting all of our individuals that we've helped through the years to come to SeaWorld, both in Orlando and Tampa and anywhere between, that just get to SeaWorld and we can have a great day, courtesy of SeaWorld. And really excited about that one. We haven't been able to see the families for a while. So that's on the books, and I'm hoping that nothing changes that. But so we're waiting and seeing. The interesting thing with COVID is the fact that people are more and more stressed. They're more and more isolated. And some of the individuals that we talk to, they don't want to leave their home, or they don't want to go and do telehealth. They want to see a person. They want to get that personal contact that they've kind of drawn back on. And so we're seeing some interesting aspects of that, and we're assuming, based on statistics that we're seeing and based on some of the and feedback from our counselors, that this is going to be a very stressful season, Tony. It's going to be, you're going to have the euphoria. Everybody wants something to celebrate. So I don't know if you've noticed, but Halloween decorations went up really early because people want something to celebrate. And I think you're going to see that through the season. They want something to celebrate. They want something to be happy about, something to look forward to. And then it's over. And so a lot of times you have that seasonal depression that happens in that January, February timeframe. We're thinking that it's going to be even worse this year because we've had that isolation early on in the year, and people are actually, a lot of folks are still isolated. And now we're going to have this wonderful celebration. So we're going to see a few of your family, maybe some of your friends, and then you're going to go back to that down. And we're expecting to see a lot of more individuals coming our way come that December, end of December, January, February timeframe. We also know that based on a Military Times article that came out, that active duty suicides are up by 20%. 20%. I don't have that statistic right now for the veterans, but I've got to think it's probably pretty much mirroring. I don't know if you've seen anything, Tony, with everything that you do with veteran suicide and postvention, but it's a staggering statistic, up 20%. I keep that almost doesn't want to stick in my brain. It's too high of a number. One is too high, but
the challenge with that also, Anna, is that just came from the Army. The rest of the branches don't even report until the end of the year. So the Army is the only one that actually reports quarterly. The rest of them just kind of sit there and they're watching the Army get all these beaten up but that's actually a Army thing that reports. And so yeah, I'm concerned about, like you're saying, because I don't think we have the collection out there to see exactly what's going on here in the veteran population. So I'm really concerned about that as well.
I'm very concerned about it. I'm concerned about the children because again, the children have been isolating and trying to school from home, and then you've got that stress at home. So I know that from my friends in the court system that domestic issues are on the rise because of all the stress.
Yeah, that's a really good point too. The domestics that, because when people who never had a domestic, they had the way to release it, right? Either they're at work or they drive, whatever. Now you have no release. You got the kids in the background, the husband and wife right there. Yeah, I can imagine that. Even so, people who thought they never would be any domestic now find themselves in that kind of situation. So that's a really good point.
So one of the things that we're doing, because you can't force people to come into counseling, right? But what we are going to do is we're going to start doing some series of Facebook and social media things on holiday stress and dealing with holidays, and just some little tidbits of information on our Facebook and our website to try to help with some of that stress that's going to happen, and some of that, you're going to have that euphoria and then you're going to have that dip down, and to know how to deal with that, and basically how to maintain those coping skills that they're going to need.
Yeah, and so can you, real quick, can you give us again how they can contact you and Camaraderie Foundation's website?
Absolutely. So for anyone who's interested in volunteering or seeking services, you can go to CamararieFoundation.org, and there's a couple of links on there we make sure that it's very easy for individuals to click and get counseling. The other thing is, on that Family Fun Day for SeaWorld, we don't have the sign-ups up yet because I'm kind of waiting and gearing and making sure that it truly is going to happen. And then we're going to have that up on the website. As soon as that does, I'm going to share it with the world.
Oh, okay. And who's the POC in Tampa?
The POC in Tampa is Molly Longmire. She is the Director of Development, and we also have here locally, that is both for Tampa and Orlando, is Joe Torres. He runs the programs now, the job that I used to have.
Sergeant Major Torres, right? Sergeant Major Torres.
Yes, that's right, Sergeant Major Torres.
Good. Okay, so that's good to know. So anyway, we really appreciate you guys. You being the first out the launch for this podcast we're gonna have for weekly. And I tell you what, I look at one of the weekly. I'm like, man, I need more weeks to get this thing.
There's so many great topics. Thank you for having us on, Tony. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And again, let us know. Keep us updated what you're doing. We'll probably make a little resource page or something for people for the holidays. And we appreciate you, Anna, for all you guys out there for Camaraderie Foundation. So any last words before we can sign off?
Just thank you guys very much. And you can also reach out to me at Tanzilla@CamararieFoundation.org. And I know Tony can put that up somewhere for you all. But on our website, absolutely, www.CamararieFoundation.org. Thanks a bunch.
I have my admin assistant do that. Admin assistant, put up the link. Okay. Yeah, we're kind of thin here, but that's good. We'll make sure we put that up, Anna, and I really appreciate that. So I see you on the other side, and please stay in touch. The community needs you.
Thank you. And the community needs you too. Thanks.
Thank you. So once again, so that's one of our resources, our very valuable resources. If you want to get anything like counseling from the family of both, as Anna mentioned earlier, they primarily focus on post 9/11 families and veterans. And one thing Anna did not mention, I had to bring on, is that if you lost someone to suicide, because this is another thing. If you lost someone to suicide and you fit that 9/11 thing, you can still contact Camaraderie Foundation to get some much needed resources as well. So thanks again. So, okay, this is Tony Williams from Veterans Council Veterans. Before I go, I have my ask. My ask is share. Sharing is caring. But when you share, you may be passing on a blessing. And during this time, we all need blessings. So until then, this is Tony Williams from Veterans Council Veterans, out.